today's hearing went very well. I don't know what the results are that it will produce. We don't have, even though we're a group of people talking to represent, the representatives of the state, they of course can do what they're going to do, whatever it is that they will eventually do. There was a lot of people that were very articulate in presenting their positions. And there were some central themes that were able to be conveyed very clearly. These inspections are, well, in the very least, they're strictly against they're forbidden in the new law. They just can't do it. And invasion of privacy, forced violation of self-incrimination. Walking into a police department with, that got conveyed a couple of times. The state police very kindly stepped up and said that they didn't want to participate in this idea of having to deal with marijuana to be disposed of. And I can't remember what there was another position that they said that they were taking, which was very nice of them, and I appreciate them doing that. It did distress me that they expressed that they do intend to be enforcing the law. And I gathered the impression that what they were trying to say was that they were going to go ahead and arrest people, knowingly arrest people that they would know would have their cases dismissed. So the state police action in and of itself is the entire punishment and the jail and the lawyer fees and all that stuff, associated costs. It's not the long-term imprisonment, but really the massive burden that's being placed on people, and they're there because they're sick, and it's specifically, this is the law for sick people. And the state police are announcing that we intend to go ahead and arrest people, knowingly arrest people that we know can't be found guilty, that their charges are going to be dismissed. I hope that they rethink that policy. It doesn't make a lot of sense to burden the court system with the additional cases that would be involved. And to target sick people like that just doesn't make sense to me. It seems like a waste of taxpayers' money too. So I really hope they seriously reconsider that. And consider this. This is the sick population you're talking about. And the not so obvious part about that is the sick people's medicine. The medicine itself. In this new law, the medicine itself also has its protection. This law protects patients, caregivers, doctors, bystanders, but it also protects the marijuana itself. And it says distinctly that marijuana that is for medical use shall not be seized. It's not subject to forfeiture. Commonly what happens in states when these new laws come into play is that the police initially spend a long time going ahead and tearing up gardens and tearing up people's medicines and stuff like that, take them away, and let the courts settle it later as the thinking process. But the problem is that, that you're taking someone's medicine away. And if a caregiver is the person that's holding that medicine and are nurturing plants and stuff like that, here's somebody that looks like they're perfectly healthy. Yeah, it's the caregiver. And maybe they just close their mouth and don't say anything. And the plants are gone, they're destroyed. And those plants were going to be going to this sick person over here, somebody's grandma dying in a hospital of cancer or something. And her medicine is now gone. It doesn't classify as service and protection to me. It doesn't classify. I don't know what you call it. I call it monstrous. I certainly hope they don't intend to pursue that kind of a campaign still. So what else? How else did the meeting go? I hope they remember the point that I was trying to make, that one point that I tried to make right at the very beginning. This agency is not granting us anything. What they have been allotted a job by the voters of the state. They aren't granting anything. We took this to them. We had to go around these kinds of people to push this law into place. We should never have to do that with a representative government. But you force the voters to go around us. You force the voters to go around them. Or around you. That's right. Force us. So we did. But now that we've had to go to that extreme to get this action done, please don't think of yourself as doing us a favor in allowing anything. This is what the voters require of you. You are not granting medical marijuana's existence in Michigan. The voters did that. And that was effective December 4th. The April deadline is only for you to figure out how to get your act together to be able to print an ID card. And that is your function. You take a file, you make a copy of a couple of documents, snap a picture. Thank you. How come that costs $100? Quite understand that. I figure that to be about $10 worth of hourly time, maybe. Go ahead and got to pay the bosses their salaries too. And this fee is supposed to help the sick and dying in this state. That's service, yeah. In case you haven't heard, there's hard times out here right now. There's a lot of people being laid off and not having work. And if you add into no work situation with people who are physically held back also so that they can't be as productive as they'd like to be, you add the addition that those are the kinds of people. They can't afford, a lot of these people can't afford the standard medicines, but they can afford to put a seed in a flower pot in the back closet. They can afford to do that